Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's WinterhelmGames and we're back with our second installment of our hair-raising true Christmas horror stories from Twisted Tales. So, you know what? If you haven't head over to him by now, you need to like and subscribe to him, and to myself of course as well. And you know what? Let's get into these.
This happened to me last Christmas Eve, and it's not the kind of story you'd expect during the holidays. I still get chills just thinking about it. I was home alone on Christmas Eve, just hanging out in my living room with the twinkling lights and the smell of pine from the Christmas tree. Everything's quiet, and I'm scrolling through my phone, waiting for my family to come back from some last-minute shopping. As I'm sitting there, I notice this flickering light outside the kitchen window. At first, I figure it's just a neighbor's Christmas lights or something, but it's weirdly close. So I get up and peer through the curtains. I see this guy standing in my backyard. He's not looking at me. He's just staring at the house. He is tall and wearing a dark hoodie. I can barely make out his face in the shadows. I thought maybe it was one of my neighbors, you know. So I go to the back door, thinking maybe he needs help or something. But just as I open it, he turns around and I see his face. Cold eyes, no expression, like he's made of stone. It gives me this uneasy feeling in the pit of my stomach.
Yeah.
I ask him if he's okay, and he doesn't say a word. He just points at the house and gestures like he wants to come inside. Now that's when my instincts kick in, telling me something ain't right.
Get in inside, lock the door.
And told him to leave and quickly close the door. But instead of leaving, he pulls out this screwdriver from his pocket and starts messing with the lock on the door. Panic sets in. I'm frozen for a second, and then it hits me. This guy is breaking in. Right there, on Christmas Eve. I make a run for it, darting to the front door to lock it, but before I can, I hear a crash from the back. The dude smashed a window or something. I grab my phone and call 911, whispering that there's someone breaking in. The operator tells me to stay quiet and find a safe place to hide. I dash into the closet, heart pounding, barely able to hear the operator over my own breathing. And then, silence. Complete silence. I peek out of the closet, and there he is, standing in my living room. He's looking around, like he's searching for something. I'm praying he doesn't find me, but he starts walking toward the closet. I hold my breath, praying he won't open that door, but he does. The door creaks open, and he stares right at me. Cold eyes meet mine, and I feel this rush of fear like never before. He doesn't say a word,
kick his ass.
Just looks at me, and I realize this isn't a regular break-in. This guy's after something more. Suddenly, he bolts, runs out of the house like the devil's chasing him.
What?
I hear the distant sound of sirens as the police arrive. I stay in that closet until they come in and make sure it's safe. Turns out the guy didn't take anything. Didn't touch a thing, except for that broken window and the front door lock. It's like he wanted to scare the hell out of me, and well, he succeeded. To this day, I have no idea who he was or why he chose my house. The police couldn't find him. I still get paranoid, thinking he might come back. So yeah, that was my Christmas Eve. Not carolers or presents, but a stranger with cold eyes breaking into my home. Remember, folks, stay vigilant even during the holidays. You never know who might be lurking outside your window on a silent Christmas Eve. Stay safe out there.
Not weird, wasn't it? That's freaky. I mean, yeah, as it says there, you know, definitely stay vigilant, especially during the holidays. If you're going away as well, make sure there's like automatic timers and different things, and neighbors that can keep an eye on your house and that kind of thing. You know, people you trust. Definitely be careful.
So this scary thing happened to me a few years back on Christmas Eve. I never would have thought holiday shopping could turn into a real-life nightmare. It's that crazy time of year. The mall's packed, and I'm there trying to get some last-minute gifts. I'm wandering around, juggling bags, minding my own business. Just your typical Christmas shopping chaos. I saw this guy, maybe mid-30s, blending in with the crowd. I didn't pay much attention to him at first. Just thought he was another shopper caught up in the holiday frenzy. But the more I looked around, the more I noticed him. He was always nearby, like he was following me. I shrugged it off, thinking it was just a coincidence. But then, as I'm checking out some scarves, I catch his eyes on me in the store mirror. It wasn't a friendly look, more like a predator sizing up its prey. Creepy, right? Now,
That's
I'm no
very creepy,
superhero or
yeah.
anything, so I didn't confront the guy.
It's a close
Instead,
to
I
security.
decided to test my theory. I started weaving through the crowd, ducking into different stores, and sure enough, he's always there. Not too close, but never far behind. Feeling uneasy, I tried to tell myself that maybe I was just being paranoid. I mean, it is a mall. People move around, right? But it
Well,
seemed like
yeah.
every time I turned, he was there, like a shadow that wouldn't go away.
Mhm.
It got to the point where I was second-guessing every move I made. I decided to head to the food court, thinking maybe I'd lose him in the crowd. As I sat down with my meal, I spotted him lingering nearby, pretending to be interested in his phone or something. That's when I realized he wasn't shopping, he was watching me. I noticed that he hadn't purchased one item, even after going into all of those stores. So I got up and left the food court because I knew I had to do something. So I made a beeline for the security office, thinking they could help.
That's it,
I
exactly.
told the guard about the guy following me, and he said they'd keep an eye out. Feeling a bit safer, I continued my shopping, but I still found myself constantly checking over my shoulder. Then I see him again, now acting all casual near the escalators. I decided to head towards the exit, thinking I'd ditch him in the parking lot. But as I reached into my bag to grab my car keys, I felt a tug. My purse. The guy had snatched it right from my shoulder.
Oh, okay.
I started yelling for help. The mall security rushed over, and a bunch of people gathered, trapping the guy. He tried to play innocent, like he didn't know what I was talking about, but they found my purse on him.
What are you talking about? This
Cops
is
were
my
called,
purse.
And the guy got handcuffed right there in the parking lot. It turns out he had a record for this kind of stuff, stalking people in busy places, waiting for the perfect moment to swipe their belongings. I couldn't believe it. What started as a simple shopping trip turned into a real-life nightmare. The idea that someone was watching and following me, waiting for the right moment to strike, it gives me the creeps still just thinking about it. So the lesson here is to always be mindful of your surroundings. There might be someone watching, waiting to strike.
That was very creepy. Like, having someone like that would constantly be following you. Like, but obviously he wasn't doing a very good job. Like, you know, it was like she was able to see that she was being followed, which is good. So at least she was able to alert security and then keep an eye then, which is obviously why they started following at a distance as well. And then, based on the description, we'd be able to keep an eye on the creep. So,
2 weeks before Christmas back in 2015. Now, I'm no storyteller, but I promise you, this one's gonna give you the heebie-jeebies. So, I was walking home from school like any other day. It was starting to get dark, and you could see your breath in the chilly air. I took my usual route, cutting through this quiet suburban neighborhood. But as I walked, I noticed this beat-up old van parked on the side of the road. Nothing unusual, right? Except this lady was leaning against it, and she was staring right at me. I tried not to pay it much mind, thinking maybe she's just waiting for someone or whatever. But as I got closer, she started smiling. This weird grin that sent a shiver down my spine. She looked normal, I guess, but something about her eyes felt off. Now, here's where it gets nuts.
the van itself just reminds me of just constantly things of Home Alone. You know, the plumber's van with Harry and Marv.
As I'm passing by, she says, "Hey, sweetie, want to make some quick cash?" I gave her a hard no and kept walking, thinking it's some weird sales pitch or whatever. But then, she gets all persistent, saying they just need a hand moving some stuff and they'll pay good money. I started picking up the pace, feeling like something was seriously off. That's when I noticed this guy leaning against the van on the other side. He looked kinda rough, you know? And he's just watching me, not saying a word. I'm not the bravest, but I ain't stupid either.
Yeah.
I booked it out of there, running to the nearest street with people. I could feel their eyes on me as I left, and it freaked me out. Fast forward a few days, and I see them again. Same van, same lady, same dude. This time, though, they're not alone. They're talking to another girl, a bit younger than me. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but the girl looked uncomfortable, real uncomfortable. I didn't want to be nosy, but something didn't sit right with me. So I called the cops, gave them all the details. I figured they'd check it out and maybe find out it's just some misunderstanding. Well, turns out I was dead wrong. A week later, the police knocked on my door saying they caught the van. They were trying the same thing with another girl, only this time, someone called the cops in time. They arrested the lady and the guy right there. It was like a punch to the gut. I never thought it would escalate like that.
Put it in the back of the van.
The police told me they found duct tape and rope in the back of the van. I felt sick, thinking about what might have happened if I didn't trust my instincts. As the police officer was leaving, I just stood there, feeling this mix of relief and fear. I couldn't believe it all went down in my own neighborhood. So always trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. And if you ever see a shady van with strangers asking you to do something that feels wrong, run the other way.
Yeah.
Because you never know what their intentions are.
There you are. That was the first one we've put up that we've reacted to. First 3 stories, the volume 1, I suppose. And now in volume 2 of the 3 hair-raising true Christmas horror stories. He has ones up now for New Year, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to react to them and put them up for the 1st of January. So stay tuned for that. There is a few videos I have put up, scheduled up for this coming week over Christmas up to New Year. So should keep you going for a bit. And hope you stay safe over the holidays. And I'll see you all in the next video. So take care, guys. Bye.